All you. All y'all.
Doesn't that feel good? You know what? While we're up here, why don't we stretch a little bit, Ron? Oh, it's Sunday morning.
I don't want to stretch before I've stretched because I might pull something.
So you need a pre-show stretch?
I need to stretch before I stretch. And
And
we are
then
live.
and
How about
then
that?
we go to stretching after that. Is that the idea?
I don't like to stretch at all. I get cramps. Do you ever do that in bed? You lying in bed, you stretch your legs out, and you get those cramps in your calf.
Yeah, I have one right now. Again, remember we talked about this last week where I needed to drink more water, and
Yes.
I have been, but yesterday, turn your sound down on something.
Oh, hold on. Where is that?
All right, you please be seated. Enough of this frivolity.
Yeah.
We're glad that you're here on this Sunday morning for Mass. Today is April the 19th, 2020. And we have a good show planned for you, as always, on Sunday mornings. What the hell is going on over there, Ron?
Hold
Come
on.
on, I'm
here.
hearing myself. Turn your speaker
There we
down.
go.
For God's
There
sakes,
we
man.
go. Now we're set.
All right.
Hey, Jason was first one in today. First and second one.
Wow.
Rick's here. Jimmy Fast's here. Hooli. Let's see. Vinny Stacks.
Where have you been, Vinny?
Yeah.
Have you been watching and not commenting, or what's your dealio? There, I
His
said
work
that again.
schedule. His work schedule's been crazy.
Oh, I'm sure. You know.
Yeah.
Is Vinny considered an essential worker?
Down at the Do Nothing Factory.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's got to watch everybody not doing anything. It should be the guy not doing anything.
He says his boss is demanding. Yeah.
He is. Yeah, he's your landlord too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Vinny is always gold when he's on our show and commenting. So I'm glad that he's here. He's awesome.
Yep.
You know what? He gets us.
I think he does.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's a younger fella.
He is a little younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's about half my age.
See, when you're our age, you say fella.
Youngster. He's a youngster.
He's a whippersnapper, is what he is.
He's a whippersnapper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, the coronavirus, COVID-19, and where we all stand at this point in life.
Huh. This is new. I've not heard of this.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not. It hasn't been on a lot of media sources, Ron. So you're probably not catching a good glimpse of
Yeah, I
the
haven't.
real world.
You have to bring me up to speed on it.
Okay, well, everybody's got it.
I honestly think I may have said this last week. I think my wife and I had it in this house. We had it back in like December or January. She was really sick, and I was like, yeah, moderately didn't feel good, but at some point they'll come out with a very quick test that they'll want everybody to get tested, and then we'll find out for sure if you've had it or not. If you've got the antibodies, then you've had it. So,
yeah, and that's such a big lasso to throw around this problem, and until we get to that point, it's just a flip of the coin.
Yeah. You don't know for sure. And some of the symptoms, I guess two of the most glaring symptoms are you lose your sense of smell and your sense of taste.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I lost my sense of taste a long time ago. So
I would say your wife has too.
And then I worked yesterday, and so I was testing people at work to see if they lost their sense of smell because I was a little gassy. So, and if they could smell, they go, ooh, I'm like, you don't have corona, so don't worry, you're good.
So your farts are somewhat of a public service, is what you're suggesting.
Exactly. That's the way I'm using them now.
I see.
Yeah, they were weaponized, and now they're
Oh, you're weaponized.
I was using them for evil, and now I'm using them for good.
That's why we're all so proud of you, Ron, because you've come back from the black side, the dark side. Oh, Ronnie, you and your farts.
Yes.
How did your
Look
other?
at this.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
I love that. That's a birthday. That was a Christmas present. Not this last Christmas. Christmas before.
Oh, really? You're just opening up those gifts now?
Well, it never fit until now.
Oh, okay.
So.
And when you had it on before, you could just say "eat." That's all you could see on the shirt was just "eat."
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was so stretched out.
This head was like way over on this side. Yeah,
lopsided Paul. Yeah. No, I do like your shirt, but I was wondering, how did your other deputies take to your test?
Not favorably.
Right.
I mean,
I can't blame them.
Yeah. But then after I told them you don't have coronavirus, you don't have to worry, I think they were relieved because they walked immediately
Someone
out
was
of the
relieved.
office. So, but like I said, I'm a giver. So.
We all know that about you, Ron.
Yeah.
You are a giver.
I am a giver.
Yep. Okay. So let's get rolling here. Coronavirus. Honestly, I think I had it too. It was horrible for about 4 or 5 days, but I wasn't deathly ill. Now, again, right. Ronnie, we're not suggesting in any way that we're medical experts. We're just suggesting that this virus was probably here a little sooner than anybody thought.
Yeah, they're saying now could have been here as early as November of last year.
My sick week was the first week of January.
Okay.
I missed 2 days. And I really was ill. And then I thought, okay, I think I can try going back to work on a Wednesday, I think it was. And so I did. And I worked the whole day, but I was pretty miserable. And, and then I ended up taking the next day off because going back to work too soon was the worst thing I could have done.
Yeah. Well, and then everybody in the office gets sick. And that's kind of what happened at Vicky's office is people were continuing to come to work. And it just went from one person to the next, to the next, to the next. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of made a round again. And one of the ladies that got sick, she didn't get better. She ended up recently she had pneumonia, turned into pneumonia. So,
which is, I hate to say it, but that's even more dangerous than COVID-19.
It's at least equally as dangerous. I mean, neither one of them are very pleasurable. They both cause breathing issues. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I don't know. And then on the bright side, I did see yesterday where the president is going to turn it over to the state's governors as far as when we start opening things back up.
And I have a feeling that is not a good move. And I'll tell you why, because I believe at this point now people can politicize.
Right. Well, and even the mayor of New York, what's his name, Cuomo?
Yeah.
He was saying that's actually a good move because it is different, and they're not big political allies. They're usually kind of at each other's throat a little bit.
Oh, I know.
So yeah. So for him to agree with the president, that's a major stepping stone. But I do agree that it is different from state to state. There are some states that are almost unaffected by this.
Okay, but hold on. Let me stop you right there because people are going to begin traveling again. And then what, Ronald McDonald?
Well, then what you have to do is you have to build up the herd immunity. So it's more of you're still expecting people to get sick, but you're expecting it on a smaller scale, and so that the hospitals aren't overwhelmed with, sick people, which is what we had before.
I'm talking to people right now who are nurses in high-profile positions, and they're telling me that, God, now I'm citing an example that I can't actually verify, but one hospital worker told us that they had 3 cases, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, and they're taking the old Sleep Train Arena.
Right. I was just going to say that.
And they're turning it into I can't even remember how many beds in there, 300 beds roughly. But it's almost ready to go. But hospitals, there's nobody there's not that many sick people in the hospitals anymore.
If you consider curing someone of COVID-19 a win, then I would say there's a good chance we're going to have more wins than the Sacramento Kings had in that arena. Too soon? Too soon, Ron?
They were having a pretty good year, too. And then, boy, the injury bug hit them. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that, and I know they've done a lot of work already in the arena. That's where the Kings games used to be, and I worked in that arena for 4 years.
With the bomb dog.
Yes, with Dora. And so I still have friends that work for the Kings, work security for the Kings. And they have told me that they're doing a lot of, because the heating and cooling system was not really adequate for a hospital setting. And so they've had to add some cooling, and plus the hospital has a lot of, electrical equipment and computers, which adds to a heat up problem. So they've added a bunch of stuff already. They've probably put several $1 million into this arena already. And I have a feeling it's going to be vastly underused. I would imagine that they may find some use for it. Maybe they'll put homeless in there or something, that get it. I don't know. I'm sure they'll use it for something, but I don't think it's going to be used to its full extent.
So we could consider that a bad decision?
You know what? I think they had to, in this case, I think you'd want to have the beds and not use them rather than not have the beds available at all. So they were erring on the side of caution, and they were getting bad information, about the number of cases and how it was going to spike. And I remember right around Easter, they were saying this is going to be the worst week ever, and it didn't materialize.
And they moved those 2 emergency medical ships to each coast, to New York and to Los Angeles. And I would be interested to see the statistics on how those have been used, if at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been keeping up. I mean, you can't turn on a TV or a radio for 5 minutes and not hear something about COVID-19, or as Joe Biden calls it, COVID-9.
Right. Yeah, that's the retro COVID.
Yeah, that's the old COVID.
Right.
But I try to tune all that out. I honestly think it's been so overblown. I don't know. I've never been.
We're not poo-pooing this.
No, absolutely not. There's people that have died. There are people that's still going to die.
No one that I know.
Nobody that I know. I don't know a single person that has it currently that's, on death's doorstep.
And you know what I noticed too, Ronnie, in the statistics that people give, and I'm a news junkie. I follow news all day long.
Right.
Every death that they refer to, it's referred to as coronavirus related.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of all. That's like throwing a big blanket over it, and it's all encompassing when it's not.
Yeah. Because you could test positive for it, but not be sick, but die of a heart attack.
Right.
You die of coronavirus.
Yeah, that's skewing the numbers, and I don't think that's right. It's not like we're trying to set any new records, people.
Yeah. Well, and JT is saying that it's still not as bad as the 2018 flu deaths. I don't think it's going to surpass. I mean, on a typical year, you lose 40,000 people minimum to the flu. I don't know. It may. I don't know what our deaths are nationally. I don't know. Like a week or two ago, it was 10,000. So I'm sure it's gone up since then, obviously, but I don't think it's going to even reach a regular flu season. So
yeah,
I tell everybody, I'm not concerned, but if I die of it, you can put that on my tombstone.
I wasn't concerned.
Yeah, I wasn't concerned.
Okay. Maybe I should make a note of that in my notes on my phone.
Yes.
So we don't forget that, because we want to give you what you want when you go, Ron.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, we're giver again, giving.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. We're just being givers. Okay, so Ronnie, let's go into the mailbag. We get lots of email. And you know what I've been noticing lately, the last, 4 weeks or so in our mailbag?
Yeah.
Almost 90% of the email that we get are from women.
That's a good trend.
Well, I think it's great.
Yeah.
In fact, what I should mention is,
as long as they're not nagging at me to go paint the house or something.
Right. No one needs to be
any more of that.
No one needs to be reminded every 5 years that they need to paint the house. Have you seen Heidi's hoodie?
No.
There it is. Heidi's hoodie.
Wait. I have to scroll down here.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I haven't done. I haven't checked live chat on my phone. I got to do that too. There, right there. That's a Gildan sweatshirt hoodie.
Oh, nice.
And it is in black with pink logo. And we're calling this one Heidi's hoodie. She's the first one to have one. In fact, it shipped yesterday and should be arriving this week. And I know that when Heidi, here, let me get that off the screen. When Heidi gets hers, she will be sending us a picture. She's a very beautiful lady. All of the ladies that have purchased our hoodie shirts are gorgeous.
Well,
who knew?
Yeah, and you know what? I see a new name here.
Okay.
June Cleaver. That sounds vaguely familiar, doesn't it?
Wow, don't be so hard on the beef.
Well, welcome, June.
Hi, June.
And Dustin's Lou and Ronnie Fan 500, better known as Dustin. He's here also.
Right. He just put that shirt together for Heidi, the hoodie. Also had a question from a viewer in Canada. Okay. And she says, can I get that in a zip-up hoodie? Look, Sophie, we could do anything.
Yeah.
We have a Men Are So Smart fashion line now. So we're like the Kardashians, Ron.
Kind of like a little bit of P. Diddy going on with us.
Yeah. You know what we are? Hustlers.
Yeah.
We have side
hustling
hustle.
Every day.
You betcha.
Hustling every day.
And you know what else? If I haven't said it, lady, pimpin' ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
No.
Well, that's on Adam's boat, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's the name of Adam's boat. Pimpin' ain't easy. All right, so let's get back to our mailbag. Ready, Ronnie? Dear Lou and Ronnie, love your show. This is a little long. Maybe I'll try to expedite. My boyfriend proposed to me with the same ring he gave his ex-fiancée.
Uh-oh.
The ring was dirty and had obvious signs of normal wear and tear. Plus, I found the receipt. This is not going well. I'm not sure I even need to go on. Plus, I found the receipt dated a year before we even started dating.
Okay.
I understand he spent a lot of money on the ring and doesn't want it to go to waste. Luckily, the ring doesn't fit and would have to be sized. I thought about taking the ring and having it redesigned to make a custom ring for me. I have accepted his proposal, and I haven't mentioned any of this to him. I don't know how to approach him with my intentions. That's signed Elizabeth in Norfolk.
Virginia.
Am I allowed to say that?
You just did.
Oh.
This is not the kid version, so yeah, you can say Norfolk.
Oh, okay. All right. Norfolk.
So, thankfully,
Elizabeth, thank you for the email.
This was very close to an episode of the Goldbergs. And it's also mentioned prominently in Judge Judy. So when you break off an engagement, the woman does not have the right to keep the engagement ring. So legally, from legal standpoint.
From that old whacked out Judge Judy?
Yeah, that Judge Judy. Yep, that's the law.
Okay.
And then from the episode of the Goldbergs that I saw, Murray went out and offered to spite buy her a new ring, even though they couldn't really afford it.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was going to buy her a new ring that they couldn't afford. And they did, and there were no returns. But then Beverly, she talked the dude into
no
taking
returns does not apply to Beverly.
No.
On anything. I like
because
when she
it's
says,
an evolution.
I like when she says, I have a coupon from a year ago that's expired and you're going to take it.
Yeah. That is one of the greatest shows on TV.
It is. It's like the Wonder Years of the 80s.
It is.
I like the way they always say, it was 1980 something.
Yes, but September 2nd, 1980
right.
something.
Yeah. So you never know. Okay, so Elizabeth, look, here's where I stand on this, and again, I appreciate you taking the time to send us an email. Really bogus. That I'm not sure what his motivation was behind it. Is either that he's cheap / thrifty or insensitive, and I suppose that if you two had talked about it, the possibility of him giving you this ring, and you said you didn't have a problem with it, then I would say, okay, great. But it sounds to me like, well, let's just say you're hesitant, as I would be as well. Now, go ahead, Ron.
My take, I mean, yeah, right off the bat, should have probably broken the ice with, by the way,
yeah,
I was engaged before, didn't work out. We went our separate ways.
Right.
This ring, I bought this ring. It was everything I could afford. And it doesn't mean any less that I'm giving it to you, that you're the second owner of it. Because rings are expensive.
Are they?
I want to say 35 years ago, I think I paid $1,600.
That was in 1914, right?
How much was it?
25.
Oh, 2,500.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, it was $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
And which was, God dang, I was probably only making about, I don't know, 2,000 a month or so. So it's a big expenditure. And I would say that maybe down the road, 10 years down the road, maybe you can have another ring when you guys are in, because very rarely are newlyweds in a great financial situation. 10 years down the road for 10th anniversary, go out and pick out another ring, one that is just from him to you.
Well, I see it this way. I think that, number one, she should have the ring that she wants. And I can further illustrate that point by saying that I asked my wife, Teresa, to marry me, but I did not have a ring with me. It was really very much the spur of the moment kind of a thing. And in retrospect, I think it was the best thing that could have happened because she was able to pick out the exact ring that she wanted. I told this story once before, so I won't go into it too much. We went to a wholesale jewelry mart in the big city, San Fran.
Yes.
And we got a really nice ring at a wholesale price. And I'm not going to be gauche and mention what the price was. I think I did that already once. But my point is, the woman should have the ring that she wants. Now, what you can do is, if it's a surprise thing, I suppose you could go with a warm-up ring.
Or just a band.
Right.
Yeah.
Although, this is a difference between men and women kind of thing. I think part of the saying yes is, oh my God, that ring is so overwhelming. Yes, of course, I'll marry you. There's that.
Right.
But you're seeing in Elizabeth's case, what you're seeing is the opposite end of the spectrum, in that she's seeing what she doesn't want to have.
Right.
The fact that she says, I might like to have that melted down or rearranged or whatever, I like that idea.
Yeah.
And whatever that costs, he should pay for.
Absolutely. Well, and I know Vicki and I did the same thing. We got engaged with no ring, and then we spent the next, I don't even know how long, numerous weeks, going from jewelry shop to jewelry shop until we found the ring that she absolutely loved. So it is very personal, and everybody's taste is different, except apparently my friends and their wives. We went to I can't remember, probably a 10-year
I remember you
high
telling
school
me this.
reunion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And all my buddies were sitting around at the same table, and all the women started comparing rings. They were all almost identical. I mean, the design is very, very identical. And maybe, a couple of the stones were bigger, smaller, something, but the design was exactly the same. So it's probably a very popular ring. But like I said, we looked at, I don't know, a dozen different jewelry stores before we finally found one at, I think it was Merximer Jewelers, which I don't even think is around in Sacramento anymore. But yeah, it was so funny when they're all showing each other their rings. Like, oh wait, that's like my ring. Oh wait, that's like my ring. They all had the same ring on,
and they all strive to have a uniquely different ring. But
of course,
ultimately,
yes.
What happens is they're pretty much the same.
Yep.
Yeah. So Elizabeth, there you go. You get what you get, girl. You get what you want. But I wouldn't go out and have the ring redesigned and then go, okay, here's your bill for $3,500. I don't think I'd pull that route.
Right.
But you know what? He really wasn't honest with you, which really goes to show that you should be even more honest with him on the, well, for lack of a better term, rebound. On the ring.
And June has a great point. She says you may as well change the ring into the one that you want, because you're never going to change the man into the one that you want.
Let's stop right there, Ronnie, and move on to our next segment. Elizabeth, thank you for your email. My email address is Lou, L-O-U, at menaresosmart.com. And Ronnie,
I'm sorry, I'm Ronnie at menaresosmart.com.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say right now? It's going across your website. I mean, your shot right now. There's our website, menaresosmart.com. I'd like to see a few more hits on that this week. We've got a lot of fun stuff on the website. And if I'm not mistaken, I've had the ads taken down. I had that done last week, so there are no more ads that I know of on our website.
Nice.
And there's some great fun surveys for you to take there. And trust me, it's not a survey to garner information about you or your it's just about our show, and it's a chance for you to air your comments.
Yep.
When you
not going to get a bunch of spam email or
we're not, I mean, sure, you can find our sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff there, but other than that, we're not going to sell your information. We're not going to send you a bunch of stuff you don't want, and it's fun. And
that's because we don't know how to do either of those things. If we knew how,
we can't even get on here.
we can barely make Zoom happen.
Zoom is like the most popular thing in the United States and probably around the world right now. Bringing people closer together. And we can't even figure it out. From week to week to week, we have to get help.
Yep. Well, that's all she wrote.
So my question would be, who's zooming who? Am I zooming you or are you zooming me, Ronnie?
I think you zoomed me this morning.
All right.
Yeah, I think you zoomed me. I jumped on your Zoom.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ronnie. I think we should get to our draft this morning.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to try to keep it coronavirus free this week as much as possible. Everybody's so frustrated with this. No, I'm going to do this. All right. Today's draft will be phrases that are overused in the English language for whom the bell tolls. No, that's not right. That need to go away.
Yes.
All right.
That sounds more correct.
Did you purposely place your shot next to a grandfather clock, Ronnie?
Yeah. Yeah, it is back there. Yeah, that'll tell us when we're on the hour.
Yeah, that's what's hilarious about this. Of all things, God forbid.
9 times we're off.
We're off. If we're not off by the 9th one, there's going to be a big pumpkin and a carriage and all kinds of shit's going to happen.
Thankfully, my dogs are pretty calm right now. So they've just eaten a half an hour ago. So they're both sleeping.
Nobody got to hear them drinking water, though. That's a shame. That was a real treat. It sounded like the Sacramento River.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah, Buster drinks loud. He's a loud drinker.
By the way, my dog is behind me. I can't move the camera or I'll lose the shot.
Right.
But and she is snoring. She's a pit bull and she's an older dog.
Yeah.
And pit bulls do snore. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. I apologize right now. All right. But see, when I'm out in the Gallagher compound garage, the dog has to be out here because there could be some activity that goes on. And she's kind of like the fun Nazi. She doesn't like anyone to have fun.
Yeah, that's my German Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
my German Shepherd does the same thing. When she sees Buster get too excited,
right,
it's like, oh no, bring it down.
Right.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
Yep.
My dog is that way with the cat too. Chasing a shadow or something. Oh no, you're not. Not on my watch.
You didn't. Yeah. No. Get that out of here.
You get back up on that chair and you go back to sleep and everything will be fine. That's what my dog does.
Yeah. That's definitely Brandy. Brandy does that.
So our Mantasy Draft this week is phrases in the English language that are overused and need to go away.
I have to win the Rochambeau this week because I think number one is probably first on your list also. So
I do have to go number one. You're right. I don't know how you knew that.
It's a little Ronniak coming out there.
Okay, I'll be honest. I was not in your head last night.
Oh, I didn't feel it. Yeah,
I wasn't there. There's a lot going on over here with sheltering in place, and 5 adults and a 4-year-old. There's a lot going on over here all the time.
Yeah.
I had to record my radio show this week from the garage here, while my son and his buddy Bob were fixing air conditioning on a big Dodge Ram 3500.
Oh, well, that sounds...
and gas.
Sounds like a perfect time to record a radio show.
God forbid I should have 1 hour uninterrupted, but no.
I can't remember. Did I hear your dog bark?
No, not
during
bark.
The show?
She doesn't bark. She doesn't bark unless if you come to the front door, you don't want to knock.
I know what we were watching. We were watching the news the other night, and one of the reporters is reporting from home. Was that Dave Bender?
Yeah.
Dave. We were watching Dave Bender do the weather, and his dog barked in the background. And just one very well behaved, one bark, one and done.
Oh, Bella girl. That's my girl right there. That's a mama dog. All right. So phrases that should be banned or panned in the English language. And I'm ready to go Rochambeau here. I think I know what I'm throwing.
Okay.
Don't do it until I get my hand up there. Okay. Here's my bottom hand. All right. And here's my top hand. It's right here. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, rock.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm winning. I'm definitely winning because I'm this first one.
Mm-hmm.
You hear it every single football game, every single baseball game, every single chess match. I'm giving it 110%.
That made my list.
I'm done with that.
I am too. It's impossible.
It's physically impossible. You can't give more than you can give. If there was more to give, then you didn't give it all.
All right.
You didn't leave it all out on the field.
Whoa, is that your second one? Because you only got one right now.
No.
Okay. All right. So Ronnie has gone first in the first round and says giving 110%.
Yeah.
All right. So now it comes to me in the second pick in the first round, and I will have 2 picks as the person who goes second.
Yep.
I'm going to go with "It is what it is."
Oh, that's a pretty close second. I hear that a lot.
Wow. How long did it take you to come up with that?
It's always been what it is.
It always will be.
It always will be. Whatever it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, what do you then? Evidently, you could say it isn't what it isn't. Hey, maybe that's not my second
It isn't
pick.
what it is.
It's not my second pick. All right. For my first pick in the second round now, and then it'll go back to Ronnie, I'm going to go with thinking outside the box.
Oh, that's on my list.
Okay.
It's on my list, but it was an alternate. So it's kind of down there a little bit.
That's a term that's come up with the Fen treasure as well.
Right.
People use that, thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to try and think. I think out of the box all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of required. I think you find that most people in a work situation have to think outside the box.
Okay, so in the first round, Ronnie picked giving 110%, and I picked it is what it is. My first pick in the second round was thinking outside the box, and now it goes back to Ronnie.
My second pick is get your ducks in a row.
Well, number one, I don't have ducks at the moment. My next door neighbor has chickens. I don't know if that counts.
Get your ducks. So is Dave Bender here?
Yeah, he's at your front door.
Yeah, get your ducks in a row.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, but I don't know. And why, if your ducks get out of a row, is that necessarily a bad thing? I see that happen all the time.
That's probably detrimental to duck health.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yep.
All right. So your first pick in the third round?
And my third pick is out of left field.
Yeah. As opposed to right field?
Yeah. Well, what about center field? In fact, I think that more balls go to left field than to right field anyway. So I don't know. Out of left field's not that crazy.
All right. And my final pick will be at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
I think we're working off the same list because all of yours have been on mine.
It just goes to show that we do our research.
Yeah.
We think alike.
Yep.
All right. I don't know what's going on, but we're frozen there.
Okay.
All right. So now I have picked it is what it is, thinking outside the box, and at the end of the day. Ronnie has giving 110%. What else, Ronnie?
Get your ducks in a row.
Get those damn ducks in a row.
And out of left field.
Now, who wins?
That's totally out of left field.
Try to think of it as a 3-person or 3-thing team, not just one. It's a combination.
It's the trifecta. Who has the best trifecta?
Mm-hmm. It's like rice and beans, salad, and quesadillas.
Ooh, that's a Chipotle bowl right there.
I think I just did next week's draft.
So Jason says you win.
Okay,
Rick
that's
says
a first.
I win.
Jason never says. Okay, Rick always goes for you.
Let's see. At the end of the day, you eat, sleep. Okay, that's Davio. Tisha says you win.
Wow,
Matt
you,
says
Tisha.
you win.
Thank you, Matt.
Oh, and Sasha went with me, so it's 3-2.
Another split dent household.
Oh, Melanie Dodson gives it to you.
Okay, thanks, Mel. Thanks, Melly.
And Rick says he doesn't always vote for me.
It seems like you have a lot lately, Rick. Hey, Rick, by the way, Rick is about to release another song.
Oh.
He composes a lot of originals, and he puts them on YouTube. And they're instrumentals and of various genres. And he's actually a very good guitar player.
He is a good guitar player.
And if you want to check out some of his stuff right now before his new song comes out, just go to his YouTube page, which is Rick Clementson. Is that his name on the live chat, Ronnie?
Yes.
Okay, so you can get the spelling there.
Yep.
All right, good. So check out his videos.
Davio gave you a vote.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Man, it's been a long time.
June Cleaver noted that Ronnie's all sports and Lou is all business, and she's going with business. So that's another one for you.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the shirt I'm wearing.
Yep. So I'm down 5-2. I can't come back from that.
All right. You won last week, Ronnie, and
I won it last week.
You did, and it was a hard fought battle last week.
Hand over the virtual trophy.
Okay, here, let me grab that sucker. There we go.
It's on the other side.
No, it's on this side.
On my screen, it's on the other side.
I got it, Ronnie. Good one. Okay. How did that happen in the transfer? Let's try that again, Ronnie. Hand me something. Okay, hold on.
Let's see.
Hand me something.
Oh, here's
a dust mask.
Yeah.
Okay, let me have that dust mask.
This is an N90 dust mask.
You couldn't afford the N95?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. There we go.
There we go.
That's my ATM
card. That's magic.
How did I get your ATM card?
I can freaking turn a dust mask into an ATM card.
Okay, why don't you hand me something else?
That's some Rumpelstiltskin stuff right there,
It's
man.
a new feature. Ronnie hands loose shit.
Now this is a good one. This is a free 6-inch Togo's.
Is that a number 9? It looks like a number 9.
It's a meatball. I think it's a meatball sandwich.
All right.
So I'm going to hand this. Wait, it disappeared on my. There we go. Because of my background. That right there.
Okay, hand it to me, Ronnie.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. How did that happen?
That's crazy.
That's
I think I
box.
want the. You know what? I want that coupon back.
Okay, here.
Perfect, because I will use this coupon.
You know what we are, idiots.
It's like we're playing with the box on Christmas Day. We're not using the toy. We're just playing with the box. That's where we're at.
By the way, which is where my cat is right now. I know you can't see it, but my cat is inside this big, huge box, and so just her head is sticking out.
Is your cat the one that's actually handing you the items to hand onto the screen then?
Well, yeah, of course. I trained her to do that.
I thought so.
Yeah. She's a hander-offer cat. All right. Time for a segment on the show we like to call Please Just Go Away. Please just go the hell away. Ronnie, if I come out of my front door walking to my vehicle one more time and see a telephone book at the end of my driveway, I'm going to lose it. Number one, who in the hell still uses a phone book? Seriously, what a waste of paper.
The only reason you might ever use a phone book is if you have a table with one leg that's a little bit shorter than another. You can stick it underneath there and prop it up. That's the only use for purpose for a phone book.
One day, it was a Monday. I go out there because it had come over the weekend and I hadn't seen it or something. And I go out there and I see this phone book at the end of my driveway, and it just happens to be garbage day. That
Perfect.
Sucker went right into the recycle. I didn't even take it out of the plastic bag.
No, mine never make it into the house. They never make it into the house. There's no, I mean, as long as you have a computer that has internet capability, you have every phone number you're ever going to need.
Yeah, and if you look up a place of business like, I don't know, how about Togo's? If you look up a place of business on your phone and you get Togo's, not only will it give you the location based on your zip code, but it's probably got a link right to the phone number right there.
Yeah.
The only people that are complaining about phone books not being around anymore,
are the people that make the phone. They're the people that are behind the phone books and get all the advertising money.
Those people and the people that still have rotary phones.
Yeah. I still do have a rotary phone, but it's not in use. We don't even have a landline anymore. We got rid of it.
I said to a guy the other day, why don't you just take a picture of it so I could see what it is you need. He goes, well, I just have this flip phone. You know how your dog looks at you?
Yeah.
A flip phone?
And you know what? I can't, get down on anybody too hard for having an old phone. Phones are expensive.
Oh, I know.
I want to say that I think my iPhone was $900 or something.
Yeah, mine was about that.
So, I mean, I get it. And if you have a phone and it works, what the hell? But, I've got one friend.
You do?
He makes a lot of money. Yeah, one friend besides you.
Well, if he makes a lot of money, it's got to be besides me.
He makes a lot of money.
Okay.
And every time a new iPhone is introduced, he gets it.
Well,
and and there's not gigantic differences from generation to generation. Like I went from an iPhone 6 to an iPhone 8,
mm-hmm.
and there's a nominal difference. It's not tremendous even between those two. The size wise, they're exactly the same. I think the camera is a little bit better and the processor is a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
But other than they're not things that you would readily notice in using the phone. It's just that my iPhone I'd had for so long, it was the first new phone I'd had in a long time. And what I was doing is every time my wife or my kids upgraded, I just took their old phone and I kept getting a newer phone.
But it wasn't new. It was new to you, though.
But it wasn't new to me. So it was the first time I'd had a new phone in a long time. But yeah, my buddy, he gets one every time. And there's a new one I just saw that's coming out. The iPhone SE, I think, is going to be introduced.
Oh, for $399?
Something like that. Now, I'm not sure if he'll end up with that one or not. That sounds like it may not. That may be a parallel move, not necessarily an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see if he gets that.
Well, I am definitely overdue for a new phone myself, and I see that happening soon. It's funny. Your phone gives you signs that you're about to have some problems.
Yes.
If you're not paying attention, all of a sudden one day your phone goes off and that's it.
Right.
But it's much like your car. Usually you'll get a sign of some sort or a couple of signs, especially like with a battery.
Right. And that's what I was having issues with my old phone, mm-hmm. Is the battery would last. I remember we were at SEMA, the big auto show in Las Vegas, and it's gigantic and you have to have a phone so that you can meet back up with your people.
Right.
My phone was holding a charge for about 2 hours.
That sounds like my phone right now.
And so I had to have, and that's even just carrying it around in my pocket, not using it constantly. So I had to have 2 of those little battery packs.
Yeah.
And they would charge it up enough because we were at SEMA for about 8 hours. And towards the end, I would just have to turn it off and then just turn it on and check my messages, turn it back off.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to be a real hassle. And then when I came home, Apple said, yeah, by the way, we may have installed some batteries that didn't last. And so we're going to upgrade your battery for $30. So I took it into an Apple store and for $30, I got a brand new battery. And then about 2 months later, I got my new iPhone.
Oh.
So I have an iPhone 6 Plus that has a brand new battery in it. But
you know what? Maybe I should buy that battery from you.
I think we're going to actually give that phone to my in-laws because they have,
all right.
I think they have iPhone 4s or something. I'm not sure. They've had them for a few years.
Okay, Ronnie. So we're just about out of time here. We try to do this try to bring it home in about an hour. So I thought we would do our final segment today, which is going to be called "Which One of Us Is Lying."
Yep.
It's a very simple game, and we rely on you, our viewers, to determine which one of us is telling the truth and which one of us is telling a lie. Ronnie, you won Rochambeau, so of course you can go first, or you can defer, whatever you like. You do know what you're doing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Because I'm telling the truth. So I'm gonna go first.
Okay, buddy.
So when I was 15 and a half years old,
Uh-huh.
they do the driver's training
Right.
in high school.
Did.
So, yeah. So I went through driver's training. Now, and when we did our on the road training, you had to have your permit, I believe, and then you could do the on the road training. But the permit is just a written test. So
My dog is snoring. Sorry. I told you.
We had a exchange student from Sweden. Her name was Britt, and she was, from Sweden, and she spoke perfect English, but she was beautiful. So when they came down to assigning cars, they had about 15 Ford Grand Torinos, and they had one Volkswagen Beetle, and the Volkswagen was a manual transmission.
Ooh.
And so now I had ridden a couple motorcycles before with manual transmission, but I'd never driven a car with a manual transmission.
So you understood the clutch scenario.
I knew the premise, but I didn't really have the gas clutch, it wasn't worked out perfectly.
I understand. I had to learn on a 3-speed.
And so they said, who knows, we need somebody to take the Beetle, who knows how to drive a manual transmission. So Britt put her hand up, and I thought, perfect opportunity, me too. So Britt and I, and then an instructor in the back, drove in that Volkswagen Beetle, and I must have stalled it 20 times. And my biggest issue, come to find out, was I was trying to start out in third gear.
Oh.
You have to push it over and up to get it into first. And I was not doing that. And she actually said, yeah, do it this way, dummy. And that's how you get it. And once I got that, it was pretty intuitive. It kind of drove itself. But anyway, Britt and I shared a car for driver's training. Unfortunately, that's as far as it went. She was way, way, way out of my league.
Okay, well, now you've heard Ronnie's story. Before you vote, wait for my story, but I will tell you that Ronnie, if he's making the story up, he could have chosen any name. Helga, Olga, but he chose Britt. Okay, and you know how he is about this. Sometimes he tells a whole story, and it's true, except for he changes like the name of a person. So I'm warning you. Don't be fooled just yet. Because I haven't gone yet. All right. You know what? I love to start a story this way. It was a hot summer evening.
So you were in Sacramento?
In Sacramento.
Yeah.
That's what it says right here. It was a hot summer evening in Sacramento, 1987. There was a Jackson Browne concert at the California Exposition, Cal Expo.
Yep.
The opening act was an outdoor show. The opening act was a stand-up comedian who got very, very ill, violently ill, right before the show and before he was going to go on. A call came into the radio station where I worked, FM 102 here in Sacramento, your number one hit music station.
I remember.
And they wanted to know if the radio station had anybody that could do a stand-up act for about 20 minutes.
Oh, damn. That's a lot.
My phone rang. And yes, I went out and did 20 minutes, well, about 15 minutes, honestly, of stand-up comedy on a stage in front of about, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20,000 people at Cal Expo. I don't remember what it would hold.
Damn.
And I killed. I killed it that night. And I cannot tell you the butterflies that I had in my stomach, and the thought of going out and facing a crowd who was there to hear music, and they were going to get an opening act of not music but stand-up comedy. And that's my story. I opened up doing stand-up comedy for Jackson Browne in the summer of 1987 at Cal Expo. Now, having heard that, which one of us is lying and which one of us is telling the truth? Ronnie, over to you for the live chat.
Okay, Jimmy thinks that I'm lying because I'm a car guy and a fibber. I will stretch a story a little bit sometimes.
Olga.
Let's see. June Cleaver says Jackson Browne is a native Californian. Yes, he is. Ronnie lied. Up and over is reversed, not first. Well, most 4-speeds are to the left and up for first gear. So
which one of us is lying, viewers?
And I was trying to start out in third gear in that bug. Matt and Rick say that Lou's telling the truth.
Are you serious? You really think that I did stand-up comedy and opened up for Jackson Browne? You don't think that I'm making that up?
Rick and Matt think you're a lot funnier than you are, then, obviously.
I can always count on you, Ron. You always got my back.
Put you right in check. Let's see.
Come on, get
back
your
seat
comments
in VW. VW did make a van, so maybe there was a back seat. No. Well, and then in those days, yes, the Beetle had a back seat.
Yeah, it did.
Honestly, yeah, it had a back seat,
like a flat bench.
And the instructor sat in the front seat, and it had an auxiliary brake pedal.
Right.
On the instructor side.
Emergency brake pedal.
Yes. Yeah. And well, after we decide this, I'll tell you one little addition to this story on the end.
All right.
Sledneck just showing up. About damn time, Sledneck.
Yeah. We're here and we're giving, and you just show up anytime you want.
Lou and Ronnie Fan 500 says Lou, I think, but I'm not sure.
Lou is lying? Or Lou is
that's what I'm not sure.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Dustin, do you think Lou is lying or you think I'm lying?
It was at the time when he had a song called I'm Alive.
I don't remember that.
Black and Blue. Oh, man, he had a great album out.
Just bought, probably like 6 months ago now, I just bought a double Jackson Browne CD collection, like greatest hits, Doctor My Eyes.
Oh, God. You know what? When you don't hear that song for a while, then listen to it. It's awesome.
My favorite song on that whole thing, Redneck Friends.
Love that song.
That's my favorite. I love the guitar part.
Isn't there also It's a Gift? Or no, it's a payment for a bill I owe or something like that. Oh, what the hell is the name of that song?
Well, and he also does the song from It's Got to Be Somebody's Baby from
Ridgemont High.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Okay, so Dustin says he thinks you're lying. Huli just says liar, so she thinks we're both lying, obviously.
The whole show is a damn lie. You can't make this stuff up.
It seems to be it's kind of split. I would say it's pretty much 50-50.
Okay. All right. Ronnie, I have a little caveat that I have to mention here in this story.
Okay.
As far as the segment goes.
Right.
You know how someone stands up when they're telling the truth?
Right.
I can't do that this week.
Okay. So what the person who's telling the truth will do, or the person that's lying then will just go out of the shot. How about that?
Okay.
We'll do this thing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll do that back and forth until the liar goes out of the shot.
I hope I can get out of the shot.
Okay.
All right. The liar, will the person who is lying, please get out of the shot. I'm telling the truth. Ronnie is lying. Ronnie,
Oh,
what's the story
yeah.
between Hilga or whatever the hell her name is? Brit, that's
So,
it.
yeah, that part is 100% true.
Mhm.
They did have all these Gran Torinos that we did our driving in, and they had one Volkswagen, but I was not proficient. I had ridden motorcycles. I was not proficient enough with a clutch where I felt like I could be out on a city street learning how to drive a stick shift. The first car that I bought was a stick shift, and I did struggle mightily
Mm-hmm.
to get that thing going. And I had that issue where I was always trying to start out in third gear, just pushing it up instead of to the left and up.
Yeah, it's confusing because yes, up, over, and up all the way is reverse on a Volkswagen. I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had that issue, but yeah, I didn't sit next to Britt. So
Was there a Brit?
It was Britt. Yep.
Okay, there was
Britt. I can't remember. She had a very Swedish last name. It was like Elksund or something like that. It was.
Now, did she invent those water filtration systems? Did she go on to do
Britta.
that?
I think that's
Britta. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the guy from the 49ers, Matt Breida.
Oh,
Matt
got
Breida.
it.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I back in 1987, I actually did open up doing stand-up comedy for Jackson Browne. And it was really surreal for me. I'll tell you why, because when I was growing up, we used to have these concerts called Mountain Air.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember going to one show there that was Eagles, Jackson Browne, Linda Ronstadt, Warren Zevon.
Wow.
I mean, now there is a list of
you had me
heavyweights. And so
you had me right up till Warren Zevon.
Oh, you're not a fan?
He's
not
all right.
So much. Okay. Send lawyers, guns, and money.
Yeah.
The shit has hit the fan. Hey.
Well, and Jackson Browne and the Eagles, they lived in the same apartment for a while. They all shared an apartment.
Yeah.
And it was, I believe, Jackson Browne, or this might be the other way around. I think Jackson Browne finished Take It Easy for the Eagles.
That's a true story. Mm-hmm, he did.
Yeah.
And also, the Eagles were the backup band for Linda Ronstadt for a long time.
So it's like a natural connection. I don't know how Warren Zevon got into the mix, but he kind of came through the back door on.
He's
on
from
those
London,
guys.
And he's a werewolf. Of course, he got into the mix.
Yeah, I think that might be the only song of his that I know. Did he play a medley of his greatest hit?
He did. At that time, he didn't have many hits, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know who else was there? Les Dudek and the Finnegan Kruger Band. No one's ever heard of them. They are awesome.
I have heard of Les Dudek.
Mm-hmm. Killer guitar player. Check him out.
I think that's where I've seen him. I think I've probably seen him on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, we got to get out of here, Ronnie. There's just a couple of things we need to mention. Tell people about our website, would you?
Oh, yeah. menaresosmart.com. Mm-hmm. There's merchandise there. There's a couple of fun little tests you can take. Surveys, I'm sorry.
Right.
It's fun. But I think first and foremost, we really... Boy, if we could just get a few more people to subscribe to our channel. It's been not doing live, like a show sitting next to each other. We haven't gone up much in subscribers. And just tell one buddy or something to subscribe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be huge for us.
We really would. And again, I caution, when you do subscribe to our channel, be sure and click the bell. That will give you notifications each time that a new show comes out. And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a couple of dates that we may have that may not be a Sunday morning. So you'll want to get the notification.
In fact, I can tell you next Sunday ain't happening.
So
it'll actually be next Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's why you're going to want to click that bell.
Now, here's a major announcement we're going to make. And that is this Friday night, right here on this channel at 8 p.m., we're going to have a special Men Are So Smart featuring Sasha and Jason. Okay. They don't know this yet. So,
well, now they do.
Yeah, they're hearing it at the same time as you guys. So we're going to do an adult-oriented show next Friday night right here on Men Are So Smart, which is on the Gallagher Entertainment Network. And you're not going to want to miss that. That's going to be 8 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're already subscribed and you haven't clicked the bell, be sure and go back and do that, okay? That way because you're going to get a couple of shows this week. You're going to get a Friday night Men Are So Smart special, and then you're going to get a Saturday morning mass next weekend. Okay, is everybody clear on that? Ronnie, you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sasha and Jason, you're clear?
I'll have my people get a hold of your people.
You know what? I just fired all of my people. You know why?
Oh boy.
You know
they
why?
had Corona.
Too many people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with people. There's too many of them.
I know. It's like that new restaurant we have in Old Sacramento. You know why no one goes there anymore? It's too busy.
Yeah, too popular.
Yeah.
Nobody goes there anymore. It's too popular. That's a Yogi Berra.
It is.
That's a Yogi Berraism. Yep.
Okay, so you can find us on Facebook. I like to think of our Facebook page as a vehicle for really good memes and comments. I put as many really new, you haven't seen memes on there as I possibly can. If I've seen it before, it's considered cliche. It doesn't make it on our page.
Right.
So you can go there. You can use it as a source.
Nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time.
No. That reminds me of something. Master Joe, my buddy Master Joe.
Yes.
He says to me, if you guys get a t-shirt machine and you start making some t-shirts and hoodies yourselves, you can make a lot more money on them. I wrote back to him and I said, inasmuch as I appreciate your suggestion, I don't have time to be in the t-shirt business. Ain't nobody got time for that. We have the perfect person in charge of it right now.
Yes.
All right.
And he's doing a much better job than we could do.
Oh, we can't even get on Zoom. How many times I got to tell you that?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I can only imagine what t-shirts that we made would look like.
Look like a bunch of melted crayons.
We're not artistic.
However, Dustin, Lou and Ronnie Fan 500 is.
Very artistic.
The Heidi hoodie. It is black with a pink logo. Mm-hmm. For the ladies, we also have a gray with a pink logo. If you prefer to have a zip-up sweatshirt, we can do that as well. We have T-shirts in black, white, and gray. Mm-hmm. All sizes, small through 3 extra large. All T-shirts are $19.99. The hoodies are $39.99. And they ship free everywhere in the United States.
We tried to make it cheaper, but we just can't.
And each one is specially made and handcrafted too. It's not like we have 800 of them in a closet somewhere. When you order it, we make it for you right then and there, literally.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. They're not under a heat lamp all day.
No, not like that.
They're made fresh and delivered.
Yes. Is that, and thank you, Heidi, once again. Oh, I had, let me get to this real quick before we get out of here, Ronnie. I have a person who is subscribed to our show, and that person's name is Todd Heatley. Damn it, Ronnie, I don't have my glasses on. It looks like Todd Heatley has just subscribed to our show, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate that, especially today on a Sunday. We love to get notices that you have subscribed to our show. So please, we encourage you to do that. All right?
Well, and now last thing, Rapala wants to know if he can get his shirt signed. Can.
Yes.
It's a little extra because it has to be mailed twice.
Right. Logistically,
we can do that.
It's tough. We might have to charge you a little bit more for that. Not for the autograph. That's not a problem. You
know what we should do is send Dustin maybe a a copy or autograph, and then that could just be added maybe to the somehow. Now we'll have to figure that out.
I'll get with him. Oh, earlier I mentioned that a young lady by the name of Sophie.
Sophie is from, that's
Pokemon.
I think it's Pokemon. Yeah.
Sophie wanted to know if it would be a problem shipping it to her in Canada. And Sophie, I'll have the answer to that probably a little bit later today. It might be just a little bit extra. And again, it's not because we're making more money. We're not.
No.
It's just to cover the postage for
Yep.
Dustin. And I will mention, if you go to the link that's in the description below, you'll find a link there for his PayPal account, which is paypal.me/DustErica. And when you go there, you can actually order your shirt and pay for it on the same page. All you have to do is put what size and what color you wish in the notes. And please don't forget to give your return mailing address. And
Right.
it can't be a post office box, I don't think.
Yep.
It's got to be a street address. In any case, there you have it. Okay.
Perfect.
Ronnie, I think that's going to do it for us.
Yeah.
I have to go buy a new dryer.
Oh, fun. Did you get a new car yet?
No, but I think that's going to happen this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Well, we want to make sure. I hate buying a car.
It's
God,
tough.
there's so many chances you have to take on a car. You never know.
Hey, I'll talk with you off air about my suggestion, and then
Okay.
We'll go from there.
All right. I think we got everything covered now, Ronnie.
I think we've covered all our bases and then some.
Okay. Well, then let me just say this. Thank you very much.
You know what? I just want to say that today I gave it 110%.
It didn't seem
I think
that way.
I had all my ducks in a row.
Right.
Even though some of it came out of left field.
Yeah.
I think I had all my ducks in a row and I gave it 110%.
Well, I think you did too, Ron. Because at the end of the day, all things considered, you were thinking out of the box. You're such idiots.
We can't help it.
We hope you enjoy our show each and every Sunday morning mass. We surely appreciate your watching the show. It means a lot to us. Thank you to each and every one. And we'll see you next Friday night for a special After Hours Men Are So Smart featuring our stars Jason and Sasha. That'll happen again next Friday night. I'm Lou Gallagher.
Yeah. I'm Corvette Ronnie.
And we'll see you on the next Men Are So Smart.